Okay, so let me see if I got it. You're saying that it's the year 2020. We're in fictional city, Idaho. Not just that, but we're also in a dimension which we are just fictional characters in a TV show. Well, actually, streaming show, but yeah, you pretty much got it. I have to say, that's a little hard to believe. But still, how did we get here? We honestly don't really know. I mean, like, maybe there was a paradox or something, or a butterfly effect. Don't know how that would happen, though. Yeah, me neither.
Here's one thing I don't get though. If me and Will ended up here together, what about all of our other friends?
It's funny you say that. We keep up with the town's social media, and we've seen a couple pictures of some faces that look very familiar. One of which we saw earlier today. We sent out one of us to go get him. Well, okay, well, which one is it? Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here, and here is member of your show or party number 3. Well, Dustin! Mike!
Mike!
It's you, man! What happened? Last thing I remember was being in my room, doing my laundry. I was sobbing my eyes out. When this white flash happened, and boom, I end up in this Walmart that looks nothing like the Walmarts from Hawkins. Yeah, that's because we're not in Hawkins.
Actually, we're in a completely different state, completely different time, and completely different dimension.
What? Yeah, it's a long story. I mean, I've mostly been a background character to it so far, but I'm aware it's been happening. We've been more on track on what's been going on. So I think and your friends can explain what's been going on before we found you. I think all this started when we had that weird sensation when we saw that meteor shower last week. Yeah, that week was pretty eventful. I mean, with SJ being welcomed into the house. Although it's a little weird, though. I thought you couldn't see shooting stars during the day. You can't. That's odd. Then what were those bright flashing lights? Today's just so wonderful. I feel like chuckling. I feel all fuzzy inside like a duckling full of tarantulas. And now that I'm here tonight, it's gonna get weird. Bum, 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 ha, 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 bum, 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 bum. It's a shame I couldn't release that song. It would have been heard from all across the multiverse. If it was for Pine Tree Student, Shark Sixer, and all the others. Man, I hate always having to buy these goddamn waters for Bill only to leave them here and never really drink them. I mean, what's the point of getting water if you're never gonna drink it or use it? I think it's like for prep or something. I don't know. I mean, Bill one is like gonna bring on the like apocalypse. It's like gonna be Bill, so I guess he like wants us all to prep to like see what's gonna be like for like all the other people who have to do it like when he's ruler and like all that shit, I guess. Alright, I guess. Alright, well, come on, let's put these away. I like how that we like basically like have to live in a place where like some of the water like in the neighborhood is like controlled. It like freaking sucks. Well, don't be complaining to me. You were the one that decided, hey, why don't we hide away in here? I'm like totally aware of that. I'm just like saying I kind of like wish things were like better for us. Well, I mean, dude, we're basically a part of an evildoer trio. I mean, don't you remember when we sang that song? I do. I don't really know if you do, though. We teamed up with one of the most evil supernatural beings in the entire multiverse, and we get defeated by a bunch of cartoon and video game characters on a daily basis. It sucks, but I do kind of feel like we brought this upon ourselves. Yeah, and like more often than like not, it feels like Bill like doesn't even appreciate like all the hard work we do for like him anyway. Yeah, totally. It'll be my multiverse. It'll be mine to control. And I will be the king. I will be the ruler. There's never any we in any of them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Bill. I value him as a friend, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt him to be a little more of a team player every now and then. I like totally get it, man. Guys forgot to put a water away. You know what, Mr. Scales? Why don't you take care of that last gallon of water for us? I mean, you like live here with like all of us too. Like we all gotta do our like part. I'm a dinosaur, bitches. I technically count as a pet. I don't have to do anything. Yeah, Mr. Scales, but you're still technically my minion. So you do have to do what I say. Whatever. What degrading task do you want me to do this time? Well, I need you to go get a lock so I can lock this place up better so my daughters don't end up sneaking out again. Alright then, so Home Depot, Lowe's, either one works. Okay. Anyway, you two, what's the word for today? Well, we thought of like filling up water balloons and like throwing them at the high fivers like house. That's the best you can think of to get rid of them once and for all? That's just a childhood game you play during the summer. You didn't like let me finish. They're like filled with hot like sauce. Okay, I think I'm getting more invested into this idea. If it hits them in the face, it'll burn their eyes. But if it just hits the walls, it'll cause stains that'll take weeks, maybe even months to clean out. But then again, it's still kind of childish and stupid. Mike, do you have any ideas? We could have a big elephant and have it step on stuff. Where are we gonna get an elephant? Our town zoo doesn't have any elephants on it. And it's not like we can just take some from the circus because circuses aren't in much of a good business as they used to be. Come on, you two. Think. A plan to defeat the fires once and for all and finally take over the multiverse isn't just gonna come bursting throughout the window. You know, now that you mention it, why does it look so dark outside? Isn't it just the evening or something? Yeah, what's like up with that? How should I know? I'm not Father Time. I mean, I knew him a long time ago, but I'm not him. So now that you mention it, it is kind of weird that it looks so like pitch black out there, even though it's clearly light out. What's up with that? Wait. Why do I hear what sounds like a meteor shower? What the? There were like 5 meteors that just flew past the Earth. One of them looked fatter than the other ones, but... Wait a minute, you can't see shooting stars during the day? This is weird. I don't know what those things were, but they clearly weren't actual meteorites. Boys, come with me. We're gonna have to do some research on this. Oh, finally, something known as degrading is putting away waters. Come on, Andy. I'm not coming. I don't know about you girls, but I am bored out of my mind. Yeah, I am too. But what should we do? I know, there's literally nothing to do in this stupid town. Well, I mean, I don't know, we can go to a movie theater maybe. Yeah, and then maybe we could yell out food fight and make a huge mess, right? Now you're thinking, Beatrice. And once we do, the janitors will have to spend the whole night cleaning the cinema up. Man, girls, I'm starting to think our plans are starting to become more pathetic. Yes, they definitely are. But either way, could you 3 please be quiet? Me and the boys have to check on something. Egg-shaped mirror in my face. What were those lights that flew away without a trace? Bill, are you seriously doing that whole mirror on the wall thing? Like, no offense, dude, but that is so 1937 or 39 or 8 or whatever year Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was released in theaters. Well, technically, Mike, Snow White has been around for centuries. Those years were just when the Disney version came out. Now, please be quiet. You might say something that'll confuse my smart egg. Once again, what's with like this smart egg like thing? I don't like think Samsung or like T-Mobile or like AT&T or like Verizon or like Sprint or like whatever phone company like made that. Yeah, I made it myself with my intelligence and knowledge of technology because, you know, I'm Bill goddamn Cipher. Now let me see what's going on. All right, then, let's see it. Okay, a screenshot of those shooting stars. Okay, now zoom in on them. A little more. Little more. Okay, that's too much. A little back. Just a little bit. Just do like a millimeter closer. All right, perfect. Now let's take a look at these things. And the picture's still too pixelated. I can't figure out what they are yet, but that's on. According to the stats, they're completely organic. Organic, living, breathing creatures. I mean, they don't tell what type of creature they are, but they're creatures. What are these things? Enhance the quality. Bill, what the hell is it telling you? Well, now it's saying that it's figured out what type of creatures they are. Oh, they're just humans. Wait a minute, why are humans flying through the sky like shooting stars? Like pretend that airplanes on like the night sky are like shooting stars. I like to really use a wish right now, like wish right now, wish right like now. Shut up, Handy. Oh, wait a minute. Huh? Wait a minute. Okay, give me more details on these humans. Okay, it's loading. Oh, now it's buffering. I hate when even something I create does that. Okay. It's saying that these humans aren't even from this dimension or time. What the Swifty? Let me look more into this. The years these humans have come from are 1985. Their mental age is 14, yet they have the bodies of as if they were 12-year-olds. And the one that looked really fat was actually two humans flying away together. What does this mean? What dimension do these humans come from? This is like getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Like. Yeah, I know. The heck is this gonna lead us to? Wait a minute. These characters are from the 2016 Netflix original series Stranger Things. I'm seeing a pretty good show. Though season 3, that most recent season, fucking sucks ass. Wait. So, which characters are these? It's Mike, 11, Will and Dustin, who are together, Lucas and Max. Wait a minute. This is beyond weird. What are all these characters from this show doing here in this world? And once again, I reiterate, why were they flying in midair? Huh? Dad, there's more of them. What? What do you mean, Bertha? I mean, there's more of those. There's more what we thought were meteors, but actually characters from that show. We'll take a picture of them before they get away. It's too late. They're already away. It's all right. I can just ask my smart egg to take a picture of them and then send them to me. All right. Can you do that, smart egg? What the? They're too far away already. Well, then I guess we just got all these characters right here to deal with. Okay, so those shooting stars were not shooting stars at all. They were characters from Stranger Things. And by the looks of it, it seems as though from the time period that they've been pulled from, it's around the end of season 3 of the show.
again, the most recent season, and again, is total ass.
I couldn't agree with you more, Bill. It really fucking sucked. From turning Hopper into one of my most despised characters in all of fiction,
yeah, or being way more in your face about it, like taking place like in the 1980s, like more than like the show ever had like before.
Or completely disregarding everything these characters have been through just to make the cliche done to death drama work.
And oh, how can I like forget gaslighting like Mike into thinking like it's his fault that like someone who's like supposed to be his friend almost like destroyed his relationship, only for like her to never suffer any consequences for it like afterwards. Jesus, like fucking like Christ, like.
I know, this is a real strange one, boys. What do we do about this? What can we do to take advantage of this? There has to be something. I don't really know, but if I were you, I would find a way to do it quick. Because if we just discovered who they are, who's to say that the Fivers aren't going to figure out who they are either and collect them all before we do?
Mike, you son of a bitch, you're right. If the Fivers find them before we do, they might end up befriending each other, and they could become a part of their team, which would downsize us even more. Because not only do they already have more than 6, which is all of us put together, but now they'll have 5 to 6 more to include in it, and not including any of the other characters that we don't know of yet that may or may not be around. You're like right, Bill. We have to like track down all of these like kids and bring them like over here. We gotta like find a way to get them on our side.
Exactly what I was thinking, Handy. However, though, that is going to be much tougher than you may think. They've faced multiple evil and supernatural monsters in their time. One of which being very, very similar to me. That being the Mind Flayer for anyone here who isn't a Stranger Things fan, I don't know. So, they're obviously not going to trust us if we say, hey, join our side of evil, or with someone who's very similar to one of your greatest enemies. No, we have to think of something greater than that.
Well, then why don't we just trick them?
That's not enough. We need to do more. But what?
Or maybe like we find like only one of like them to trick like first.
And not just that, make sure of it that the one we pick is one that's in a vulnerable state. One who might have a harder time catching our bluff.
I like both of those ideas. Let me have a little brainstorm. Okay, I got it. I figured it out, boys. We're going to find one of them that's very vulnerable. I'm going to offer to make things better for them, almost asking them to become my apprentice. And once we have one of them, and once we make them my own valuable second in command, we can then use him or her to lure the other ones here and do the same with them. And we'll have an army of young preteen to teen kids. And we'll use them to take over the multiverse. The only thing is, which one do we pick?
I have a good idea on which one it could be.
Yeah, it could like be the one who may like be in the like most turmoil like of all of them like most recently.
One who actually managed to achieve a happy ending that they always wanted, only for it to get ripped away from them.
Someone who like already has suffered a lot in their life, so already has like a lot of that baggage on them.
Yeah, and someone who actually had superpowers. I mean, not so much anymore, but with you, Bill, we could probably bring it back for him, or her, we should say.
Are you like thinking what I'm like thinking, Mike?
I think I am thinking what you're thinking, Handy. We look for
and like pick out
like 11.
Mike!
What?
Yeah, like what? Mike Wheeler. He's the one we'll pick. He'll be the one who I choose to become my apprentice.
Why Mike? Wouldn't it make more sense to use Elle? Because, lost her new father, her home, essentially her friends too, her powers, most emotional baggage, perfect choice right for the taking right there.
Yeah, I know all of that. That's why I'm not picking her. It would be too much of an obvious choice. But Mike, though, I can sense that he's going through a lot of turmoil himself. So, in conclusion, he is my choice. Get ready, boys. You, me, my daughters, and Mr. Scales, once he's done fixing this place up so the girls can't escape again, we've got a Wheeler to find.